Chan, let's go on a date tomorrow. But Mahara, I don't like you. And anyway, isn't tomorrow? Wyan blinked his eyes innocently. Stop bothering him. Isogai came inside. Oh, but I want to go on a date with Wyan-chan. Mahara sighed. How could you forget about your best friend's birthday? You're a horrible friend. A voice giggled. Nakamura was standing there with her usual smirk. Kaede was holding a water-filled glass and smiling at them. Kanzaki was also smiling. Isogai-kun, can you... Oops. Kaede accidentally spilled the liquid on the raven-haired boy. I'm sorry. Kaede tried to sound like she regretted what she did, but it seemed like she just couldn't hide her excitement. It's fine. I'll go get changed. Isogai sighed and walked out of the class. Okay, class. Nakamura slammed her hand on the table, earning the class's attention. I'm going to get this couple set up in my book. Koro-sensei appeared. Tomorrow, our precious class representative's birthday, and we sure don't want him to be disappointed, the blonde added. So we're going to get Wyan-chan in a super short maid dress and come to his bedroom at 1 a.m. Mahara interrupted her sentence and grinned. Hearing that, the pervy Koro-sensei turned pink. What? Wyan stared at them. Confusion showed in his face. No, Nakamura smacked the blonde boy. Tomorrow, during the trip to Hiroshima, we're planning to get Wyan and Isogai-kun together. She grinned. What? Wyan stared at her innocently. Sure, the hair color really liked him, but who doesn't he like? He literally liked everybody. Why me? He tilted his head in confusion. Because, Wyan, sweetheart, he has a crush on you. Nakamura winked at the boy. What? A crush? The hair-colored blinked his eyes. The whole class face-palmed at his innocence. They had planned everything just in time as Isogai walked back into the class. Everyone had sat in their seat and actually was reading their books, even if some of them still couldn't hide their excitement. Good to see you guys studying, I guess. He slowly walked back to his seat. Mina-san, as you all know, we'll be going on a trip to Hiroshima tomorrow. Koro-sensei entered the class with his usual grin. Instead of studying, they talked about their trip the next day. Of course, everyone acted weird toward Isogai, which earned some suspicion from the Raven. Mina-san, please get on the trains. No need to rush. Koro-sensei was wearing a not-so-good disguise. As usual, A-class is going in first class. Wyan sighed. Cheer up, Wyan. We still get to go. He turned around only to find a familiar raven-haired boy smiling at him. Deep down, the boy was disappointed. He was hoping at least his friends remembered his birthday. I guess he faked a smile. Okay guys, remember the plan, Nakamura whispered to all the girls. They nodded. There's our train, Sujino grinned. Let's go! Wyan jumped in excitement and ran toward the train. Wyan, is it fine if I sit beside you? The hair-colored boy placed his bag on his seat and turned around, looking at Isogai with his usual innocent expression. I'm sorry, but this seat's taken. Nakamura rushed in along with 4 other girls. I see. I'll find somewhere else to sit. The boy forced out a laugh and walked away, but Wyan could tell he was disappointed. What is wrong with you guys? You told me this was going to be fun. Wyan asked the girls. This is part of the plan, Wyan, Hayami replied calmly as she took a magazine out of her bag. Aw, but I was hoping I could sit with Ikman-kun. Wyan placed his head on his hands and puffed his cheeks. So you like him back? Kaede asked with curiosity. Of course I do. I like everyone, Wyan replied. His usual smile wasn't visible on his face, though. You still are Wyan. Nakamura sighed. They finally stopped at the station, and all the students were instructed to come off the train. They were supposed to take the buses to their next destination. E-class always goes last. Wayan sighed. It's the E-class. What do you expect? Nagisa replied and let out a sigh. Their bus finally arrived, and they were all sitting quietly in their seats. Psst, Mahara-kun! Mahara-kun! Wayan whispered in a not-so-quiet voice. What, Wayan-chan? Do you want to go on a date? The boy sitting in front of him grinned. Please, switch places with me, the hair color added. Why? Mahara looked at him suspiciously. Wayan quietly pointed at a sleeping Isogai beside him. Oh, you mean him. You wanna sit by him. The blonde chuckled. Perhaps it was too loud to be called a chuckle. I'm sitting by Akano. You fine with it? Wayan nodded and asked once more. I'm fine with anyone. He stood up. Thanks, Mahara-kun. I owe you one. Wayan smiled and switched places. That was not long until Wayan felt sleepy and fell asleep. Isogai-kun, happy birthday! That was the sound that woke both Wayan and Isogai. What? Realizing he wasn't on the bus anymore, the raven-haired boy scanned the room. And here's your present, Nakamura yelled and pushed a half-asleep Wayan toward the boy. Isogai-kun? Wayan rubbed his eyes. He realized he was holding something. Oh, what is this? Wayan looked at the neatly wrapped box in his arms. He turned around and scanned the room. Then he looked back at the box, then the room, and again, and again. I almost forgot, he gasped. Isogai-kun, happy birthday. The hair color giggled nervously and handed the box to the boy. This was weird, because Wayan rarely stuttered. Guys, I think I'm sick. My face is heating up and my heart's beating fast. He looked down. Wayan was also surprised by his behavior, as if he was too embarrassed to look him in the eye. Nakamura coughed. Do something, Mahara whispered. The raven-haired boy once again looked through the room. All eyes were on him. Wayan, he mumbled. The hair color looked at him. His face was burning scarlet. Stop this, just do it. Nakamura pushed Wayan toward Isogai. The hair color gasped as he landed on the boy's chest. His eye-colored orbs were looking at his. His face was bright red, and this was really rare, knowing Wayan's really innocent. Isogai came back to his senses and slowly took the other boy's hand away. Wayan, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. He moved away. We'll be going now. Join us when you're ready, and have fun with your birthday present. Nakamura coughed once more, gesturing toward the others to follow her. Once everybody was leaving them in the room alone, Wayan mumbled. Wayan, I like you, he mumbled, but it was clear enough for Wayan to hear. I like you too. I like everyone. He looked away. Not that way, I mean, like you, as more than a friend. He looked at him straight in the eyes. You mean... He averted his eyes. I love you, he confessed. The hair color stared at him in shock. It wasn't until Wayan giggled. You silly. I love you too.